Hello and welcome to 2020. My name is Sadi and this is CineStuff. What we're breaking down today is how to create the perfect lightning effect. And we're not going to use any special effects lights or anything on that. It's only going to be a normal light. Now make sure to watch till the end because there's a little secret that I'm going to share that's going to help you pull off that effect. The light that we're going to deal with today is the Aputure 300D. Now the Aputure 300D is a normal LED light. It's a very strong LED light. It's basically what I'm using right here, right now, but I'm using it with a diffuser and a grid. Now here, for the lightning, you do not need to use it with any diffuser. Lightning usually is a hard source. When you see a flash of lightning and how it reflects on the house, you notice that creates really distinct hard shadows. Now this is because it's a hard source of light. And to imitate that, what we will do to turn our LED light into the perfect source that imitates lightning is using a Fresnel lens. This thing over here. This basically helps you shape the light. You can focus the light a little bit with it, and it basically makes the light go into a certain angle rather than spread in all directions from the light. And also it changes the texture. That's why we use this lens. Okay, now that we've decided on the Fresnel lens, what we have to decide next is the intensity. The intensity depends on the type of your scene. Either you have a low-key scene or you have a high-key scene. Each one of these is lit differently. One is very dark, moody and contrasty, and one is very bright and happy, and there's barely any contrast there. So the way to determine your intensity relies on that. For example, if it's very, very bright, you have to counter that brightness by using a very intense, strong light to act as the lightning. And that's why you see most of the time they use this lightning effect. Not in like midday when it's cloudy. They use it actually when it's very, very dark scenes that are indoors, like in horrors or in thrillers or action movies, because then with all the darkness you can see the flash of light coming in. They don't use it that much in normal day. I haven't seen it at least. And one really important thing that you need to remember in terms of intensity is that the lightning should be stronger than all of the lights that you have in the scene. So let's say, for example, you have this lamp down here. It needs to be stronger than this lamp. You have these lamps, it needs to be stronger than this lamp. Even if you have a little bit of moonlight coming in from the window, it still needs to be stronger than that. That is the way that you determine the intensity of the lightning effect for each specific scene. Now, to even make it more realistic, what we need to do is let that light go through some objects, because lightning is outside, and whenever somebody is indoors, this lightning effect is passing through tree leaves, branches, windows. What it does is it basically imprints that shadow of that object on the indoors. You could even do it with this little plastic thing that I have that just looks like grass and leaves. It's just something to break up the light to look like it's actually a natural source coming from the outside. Because if it's one single beam that is very focused and clean, then it's really over perfect and it just doesn't look real anymore. Okay, now that we've reached here, we need to start to actually train on how to pace ourselves in terms of the effect. Now all you've got to do is to get something that is able to block the light momentarily and create this on-off effect. This is how lightning is. What you need to do is actually look at how lightning is in real life. Whenever lightning strikes, look at the room around you. Look at the faces of the people, look at the objects. You need to know the pacing of lightning and how it is. So when it hits, it goes like one big flash, another bigger one, and at the end there's like two smaller flashes. Get anything that is a little bit see-through, and get one thing that completely blocks the light, like cardboard or something like that. And all you gotta do is just make these two pass in front of the light. Now hey, of course you're gonna look like a crazy person doing it, but nobody told you to be a filmmaker. That's all on you. It's time for the extra tip that I was telling you guys about. What you have to do when filming lightning is make sure that it's broken up. Never point the light straight at the subject or straight at the set that you want that effect to hit. You have to put it on an angle and at the same time make it pass through a couple of rooms. That suggests three-dimensionality. Because if I'm here and I'm getting just a little bit of the lightning effect, so basically half of the lightning effect is coming on my face right here, that shows that there's a room beyond this room that the lightning is passing through. So the lightning is passing through one room, and then through the other room it's passing, hitting the door frame and just lighting a side of my face, not lighting all of the room. That, my friends, is how you create a very realistic lightning effect. Now, if you guys have any other DIY ways to actually do this effect, share your thoughts with us and comment on this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. And until next time, CineStuff out.